what's the currency conversion rate between the US dollar, and here? And do you trust the person on the other side? And can you communicate with that person efficiently? And how slow is the SWIFT transfer system going to be? And how many fees are going to be taken by the issuing bank and by the receiving bank and by the currency conversion and whoever processes the technology? And what crypto does, it actually makes that whole process kind of redundant, right? And that's why I kind of really believe that is if the banks don't embrace this, if they don't buy into it, if they don't embrace crypto right now, they're just going to be extinct because you're actually eliminating their function. It's almost like old school film in a camera. I mean, in the digital age, you just no longer need it, so it stops being used. And I think that's what's going to happen to a lot of big financial institutions. They're literally just going to stop being used because the system that they're implementing is slower, more costly, and obviously not innovative. Frankly, it hasn't changed since, the 1970s? Yeah. It's now small updates, but I mean, crypto, in terms of the technology, is advancing 100 times as fast as these big banks. They can't keep up with the people in this room. And so there's nothing that would actually bring me more joy to see some of those banks. They came after us so viciously and came after so many other people, many of the people in this room so viciously, kind of fall to the very people that they came after.
Hey, what's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Stop scrolling for a second and imagine waking up to find your portfolio skyrocketing or crashing because of a single headline that you missed. In crypto, news isn't just noise, it's the pulse of your investment. Today, we're diving into the stories that could shift the market in ways that you need to understand, from Ripple's massive $25 million move to a Solana bug that could have minted unlimited tokens, and even a controversial Trump Memecoin gala sparking impeachment talks. So every second of this video is packed with insights to keep you ahead. Plus, we will be jumping over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the finance markets today. And we here at the Bull Runners are giving away $100 in XRP. We're actually giving it away every single week. The announcement will be held tomorrow, Sunday. Make sure you subscribe today. Congratulations to Trial by Fire for winning last week's. And if you want to win this week, all you have to do is like this post, comment XRP below, sign up for Blowfin using our affiliate link right here, and the announcement will be made in our daily email newsletter on the Sunday edition. You can always also subscribe to our Altcoin Secrets daily newsletter and get our free ebook if you would like to do that as well. We'll also head over to Forex Factory and check out all of the red news folder important information this week. Plus, we'll be jumping into the XRP charts and we'll be looking for the next support and also resistance for XRP. We're also going to be checking out the short-term and long-term momentum waves. We'll dive deeper into Ripple's $25 million education charity move. We'll dive deeper into the Solana devs fixing a bug that would have allowed unlimited minting of certain tokens, and calls for Trump's impeachment over his Memecoin gala dinner. But first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the overall health of the crypto market today. As we take a look here, 2.95 trillion total market cap, $68 billion worth of volume in the last 24 hours, have been on a steady climb since this recent bottom here on April 7th, all the way down at 2.35 trillion, just peaking out just before the weekend, getting over that $3 trillion mark, which is where I've been calling we need to continue push above 3 trillion to reactivate that bullish sentiment. Fear and Greed Index took a step back over the weekend, so now we're sitting at 49 in the neutral zone. Yesterday was a 53, last week was a 51. Altcoin Season Index holding steady at 23 out of 100, so it is still Bitcoin season. Bitcoin dominance coming in at 63.8%. Bitcoin ETF tracker, full news has not come through for the day just yet, but right now they are reporting a $16 million outflow, so not a bad day. As we take a look here, 2 weeks ago, we got over $3 billion inflows, and last week, $1.8 billion worth of inflows. So volume is really starting to come into the markets. This week, starting off to the downside, so we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. Top 5 cryptos by total market cap. Bitcoin at number 1, $1.8 trillion. Ethereum number 2 at $220 billion. Tether at number 3, $149 billion. XRP at number 4 at $125 billion. BNB number 5 at $84 billion, and then Solana at number 6 at $76 billion. Bitcoin price $94,900, Ethereum at $18.23, XRP at $2.14, Binance at $598, and Solana at $147. Heading over to X to check out the breaking news right now. As you saw in the intro, Eric Trump did say if banks don't adopt Bitcoin and crypto as a whole, they will go extinct. It's a bold statement, but close to the truth. Interesting thing is we are starting to see a lot of the banks starting to full on adopt the crypto, and we know XRP is embedded in there. Bitcoin is the savings account that everyone's really getting behind as far as the world goes. XRP could be the transaction rails, as we know. Speaking of XRP, an increase of 77 million XRP from the previous market report. This sounds about right. We've been seeing 300 million XRP not going back to escrow every month and seeing 270 million-ish per month outbound from Ripple Holdings. It's following our tracking, so we are not that far off. And as we can see here, the December report from the Ripple Markets report here, the report from December 31st, total held by Ripple, 4.4 billion. Total XRP subject to on-ledger escrow, 38 billion. And then down here, total held by Ripple, 4.5 billion. You can see that creeped up a little bit, but the escrow is down. Total XRP subject to on-ledger escrow, 37.1 billion. And that post was a follow-up to the post from Ripple that says the start of 2025 saw major momentum for Ripple, XRP, and the broader crypto industry. Q1 2025 XRP markets report is here, but the highlights are very simple. The SEC and Ripple reached an agreement to end the lawsuit. Hidden Road was acquired for $1.25 billion to scale XRPL and RLUSD adoption. Institutional demand rises for XRP-based investment products, and U.S. policy shift signals more clarity, more opportunity. And bullish report coming out, the total value of tokenized real-world assets, RWAs, has surpassed $22 billion. That's up 10% over the past 30 days, guys. We've been talking about real-world assets. We can take a look here. Ethereum leads with 6.5 billion, plus 30% in the last 30 days, followed by ZK Sync at 2.2 billion. So you have Ethereum, ZK Sync, we've got Stellar, Algorand, Aptos, Solana, Polygon, Arbitrum, Avalanche, and XRP Ledger wrapping it up at number 10. And Crypto Quant came out with an interesting report here. KuCoin loses over 77% of its Bitcoin reserves following the mandatory Know Your Customer announcement. On-chain data shows a drop from 18,300 Bitcoin to only 4,100 Bitcoin, marking a net outflow of 14,200 Bitcoin. So these are people that were holding their Bitcoin on the actual exchange, have decided to remove it from the exchange. So you keep on hearing the potential of a Bitcoin supply shock. You're hearing similar rumblings of XRP potential supply shock with the escrow going out to businesses. So some interesting things coming into play over the next couple of years for crypto. $11 trillion BlackRock just said Bitcoin will soon be risky not to own. So what a time to be alive, guys. If you remember, he was always talking trash on crypto, specifically Bitcoin, saying that it was a fool's potential. And now he has totally changed his tune. So very interesting. I believe they own enough now to where they know that they will be able to have a controlling stake in all of Bitcoin moving forward. So very interesting play there by BlackRock. Billionaire Chamath lists public companies buying Bitcoin as a top tech trend right now. Now, as you know, a lot of people are starting to want to play along with the MicroStrategy option of using their company to buy tons of Bitcoin and hold it on their ledgers there. And the Bitcoin historian says that this is not priced in. Unfortunately, the reality is it is priced in. Otherwise, Bitcoin would be significantly over $100,000 right now. But yes, these companies have not actually made their purchases yet. So maybe that's what they're referring to. Mr. Crypto says the wait is over. Rate cuts are finally coming. Bitcoin and all of crypto will explode. We're about to get rich. Let's take a look at this. This is a good segue into the financial calendar to keep your eye on. Now, tomorrow being Tuesday, there is no red folder news, so nothing major. However, today, the services PMI came out, was forecasted at 50.2, and it was a beat. 51.6, which is a really positive number. This is the non-manufacturing PMI or non-manufacturing ISM report on business. It's the Institute for Supply Management Purchasing Managers Index. Above 50 indicates industry expansion. Below indicates contraction. So we got a good number up above it. 1.6 above the forecast, 1.4 above the forecast. So good numbers coming out for the PMI. Now, What we'll have on Wednesday is the federal funds rate, FOMC statement, and then, of course, Jerome Powell getting out there and talking. The forecasted interest rate is 4.5. It's where it is now. People are saying that there may be a cut to 4.25. 4.0 would be an incredible cut for the entire economy. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, we have Thursday, unemployment claims will be coming out as well. Now, as you know, all the banks have gotten full clearance to be able to do whatever they want when it comes to crypto, but Chase Bank is going to block any transactions related to cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, in certain countries because of rising fraud cases. Now, as you know, some countries, they don't have tight regulations like they do here in the United States. So we could definitely see a potential in fraud in other countries, but is this just an excuse for them to be able to say, we don't want to do business with crypto again? Justin, Coinbase unveils a new Bitcoin commercial. This thing is fire. Check it out.
If a Bitcoin was the size of a quarter, all 21 million of them would fit inside a single shipping container. But to fit the dollars the Fed prints on average every day, you'd need 72 shipping containers. Each year, you'd need 26,280 containers. And to fit what they printed in the last decade, well, you need a lot more than that.
Awesome commercial from Coinbase there. Bullish former PayPal president David Marcus says Bitcoin will power a new global financial infrastructure capable of moving trillions of dollars daily.
Big banks, legacy payment systems, SWIFT, watch out.
I mean, I think, look, you need to build the best tool, right? No one is sending faxes after the internet. So, the current version of the money networks are like the fax or even telex of, our age. And if you have a better thing that's actually really truly moving money to the place you want and taking it from the place you want globally, then yeah, it's like old networks are not going to be around.
If you get this right, what does Lightspark look like by 2030?
Well, I think, Lightspark is not the network. Lightspark is providing tools and services to network participants to be able to get on the money grid. And so we take a small cut of transactions. We think the addressable market for us is trillions of dollars a day. And so if we can take a small cut of trillions of dollars a day and then build all of the adjacent services that stem from having users at the scale of billions of people on the network, we'll do just fine.
Jumping into our Ripple headline here, Ripple just pledged $25 million to support U.S. school nonprofits through its XRP Ledger initiative. These donations are going to teach kids in schools about blockchain and STEM. This isn't just charity, it's Ripple's planting seeds for mass adoption. By getting young people into blockchain early, they're building a future where XRP and crypto are mainstream. Brad Garlinghouse went on to say, we hope to inspire others to do the same, starting with Teacher Appreciation Week and leading into the rest of the year to support students and teachers with the resources they need to build a stronger future for themselves and their communities. Teach for America CEO Anish Sohoni said that the new funding will allow the organization to expand its Ignite Tutoring Fellows program, drive innovation in the Re-Innovation Lab, and provide crucial financial assistance to prepare teachers. So great job, Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple, getting out there, putting the name out there, not just for being smart in tech and innovation, but really taking things to the next level, getting involved in the community level. And in potentially the scariest story that was out there all weekend, Solana devs and validators have worked together to patch up a crucial security issue, but the speedy fix didn't come without criticism over the network's centralization. People were making fun of it because someone said, oh, all they need to do was call 3 people and it was easy to get it taken care of. But regardless, it was taken care of. The Solana zero-day security bug affected token 22 confidential tokens. So this would have been able to allow hackers to mint unlimited privacy tokens or even steal from user accounts. The bug found on April 16th was fixed fast and no exploits were reported. But some folks are grumbling about Solana centralization, saying validators move too quickly without enough community input. Solana is known for their speed and low cost, but bugs like this raise questions about security. The quick fix is good news, and it shows that the team's on top of things, but still, centralization concerns could spook investors as well. So if you hold Sol, this is a reminder to stay updated on network upgrades. So as we see here with Sant Llama Rat, the issue is that everything was done privately. Why does someone have a list of validators in their contact details? What else are they talking about in those comms channels? Now that regulators, countries, malicious actors know these channels exist, they are centralized point of failure in their decentralized system. They can privately collude to censor transactions, roll back the chain, or anything else. And this guy also posted in here, it's the same set for Ethereum operators, bro. Trent can also ask them to patch their ETH clients. More than 70% of Ethereum network validators are also controlled by crypto exchanges or staking operators such as Lido. It's the same people to get 70% on Ethereum. All Lido validators, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken. If Geth needs to push a patch, I'll be happy to coordinate for them. In August, Solana Foundation and network validators resolved another crucial vulnerability behind the scenes. At the time, the foundation's executive director, Dan Albert, said the ability to coordinate a patch doesn't mean that Solana is centralized. So this does raise an interesting question. So a crazy, interesting scenario pops up here, because if something were to go along with this, like, you know, you hold Solana tokens potentially, and then all of a sudden a zero-day exploit comes in, every one of your tokens could have got stolen. Are you okay with Solana being able to have a group of people that they can call and activate in a very short period of time to fix things? Or do you think that that is not decentralized, meaning it is centralized to a point where they could collude against you as a token holder? Let me know down in the comments. Trump may be getting impeached because of his Memecoin gala dinner. Donald Trump will be hosting his gala dinner for top holders for the Memecoin Trump, despite bipartisan criticism and renewed calls for impeachment. In late April, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren called the government officials to address questions related to Trump's Memecoin and his media company. Controversies grew after Trump announced a dinner and White House tour for some holders of his Trump Memecoin. President Trump's announcement promises exclusive access to the presidency in exchange for significant investment in one of the president's business ventures. The California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff read, Senator John Ossoff expressed support for impeaching Trump, saying, when the sitting president of the United States is selling access for what are effectively payments directly to him, there is no question that that rises to level of impeachable offense. And here we have Elizabeth Warren. The Trump family stablecoin surged to the 7th largest in the world because of a shady crypto deal with the United Arab Emirates, a foreign government that will give them a crazy amount of money. The Senate shouldn't pass a crypto bill this week to facilitate this kind of corruption. Nico Demchuk, the head of the legal at the crypto compliance firm AML Bot, says these safeguards address Warren's concerns by prioritizing transparency and accountability without stifling legitimate stablecoin development. They might ensure the U.S. remains a hub for responsible innovation while protecting against misuse by public officials and foreign actors. The United Arab Emirates deal on May 1st, Abu Dhabi-based investment firm MGX used Trump-backed stablecoin USD1 to settle a $2 billion investment in Binance. According to CoinMarketCap data, the stablecoin's market cap shot up from under 137 million on May 1st to nearly 2.13 billion on May 2nd. And as you saw in the intro of the video, Eric Trump also talked about this, saying the U.S. is seeing that the financial world has to progress. It's a joke. Why do banks run 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, with an hour and a half lunch break? It doesn't make sense. Much like the Memecoin, the USD1 stablecoin also attracted its fair share of criticism. In early April, some U.S. lawmakers went as far as to allege that Trump wanted to replace the U.S. dollar with USD1. So let me know down in the comment section, do you think that this is a conflict of interest for the United States president to have multiple different cryptos where truly people from around the world could invest tons and tons of money into it? The owners of these coins and stable coins make their money through the transaction fees that do happen. So it is interesting, an interesting point to consider there. However, as you know, all crypto transactions are on the blockchain, so they're literally a ledger of every single one of them, so you could always track them down. So kind of hard to be shady when it's all on the public blockchain. And for those of you guys looking to sign up for Altcoin University, I want to show you something that is very powerful that we offer. When you come into our classrooms, there's a really cool section here where you can go through a bunch of different things in our community. And this is called DeFi yield picks. And so I was scrolling through this, and we were set up with an announcement back on March 9th. So you could have been in this for a very long time, but this is a new DeFi yield opportunity, CBBTC and Solana. So I have some extra Solana sitting off to the side, and I was like, you know what? Prices are going down. I want to make some yield off of this. And so I went through this. And what's really cool is when you click on the actual post, it tells you exactly how to do it. So the difficult level of this one was hard, but in reality, I just simply watched this video right here and followed along 11 minutes. I was able to do it in 11 minutes. It was very, I mean, it's, if there's easier ones, then that's fantastic. This was labeled as hard, but if you want to get in here and earn yield on your money that's just sitting there, if this is hard, this is like everybody can do this, which is really cool. The network is Solana. The protocol is Orca. The current yield is about 200% APY, which is variable, changes over time. The reward tokens are in Orca. And then the farming time horizon is half a month to 2 months. So even though that this was March 9th and we're now in May, this is still valid, which is great. Suggested size minimum of $1,000 for any marginable impact. However, for learning purposes, a very small amount. So for me, I was like, all right, everyone keeps on raging about how much they're making with these DeFi yield opportunities. I'm not doing any of that because I'm just doing simple buy and hold and a couple of day trade stuff here and there. I want to try something different. Everyone's talking about the yield on our team. So DeFi Mo, Curious J, Solj, all of our analysts have been like really talking about how you can always make money with crypto with yield farming. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try it out. Well, today I officially got it set up. Now I didn't have too much money sitting on the sidelines, but I got $560 in here. And the way that it works is I've got Coinbase, Bitcoin, and I've got Solana. So there's $244 worth of Coinbase Bitcoin and $314.97 worth of Solana provided as liquidity. This is my range that I was able to do. I did a custom range here. So when you click on it, you can come over here and make your changes as you go. First, I would have to harvest the yield. Right now, I literally just started this about an hour ago. So I've already got 5 cents in there. But my estimated 24-hour yield, I'll be making $1.72 every 24 hours based on $559. Now, as you saw on the report there, it said to put in a minimum of 1,000 to see any meaningful amount. So if I would have had an additional $500, I didn't. I just had a small amount of Solana sitting there for right now. So if this is going to make me $1.72 times 2, exactly $3.44 a day, right? So if I was in there for $1,100, so let's say that $3.44 a day times 30 days, so 344 times 30 equals $103. So Altcoin Pro University, which is our entire class, it gives you way more than just the DeFi yield opportunity. You find one of these yield opportunities and you play it for a month or 2 or 3 or however many you want, makes you $100 a month. Plus you can compound it over time, of course. So this pays for my membership every single month if I just add another $500 to this right here. So that's very exciting to see. So for those of you on the fence and you're like, well, if it was free, I would definitely sign up for it. Well, now you can actually go in, learn the skills, apply the skills, and actually get your rewards in the yield just based off of one liquidity pool to pay your monthly fees, which is very exciting. So if you are more of a reader than a video watcher, it's got the full setup here. Set up your wallet, the steps on how to do it, your exit to position, how to do that, notes. This pool has to be managed actively, but it earns good and consistent rewards so far. The pool has impermanent loss risk, so only deposit when you're comfortable holding both assets, meaning Solana and Bitcoin BTC. Impermanent loss, meaning prices go down, then you could be losing as well. But if you're still just holding it, doesn't really matter. The opportunity is suitable for users with higher risk tolerance seeking substantial returns. Since Solana might have a little bit more downside potential, you could set a range so that you're scaling into Solana if you want to add to your stash while being a little buffered towards the downside. So very exciting. Like I said, our analyst DeFi Mo posting that one. That one was just an easy one. I had some Solana. There is also one that came out 2 days ago for you XRP holders. We got XRP difficulty level medium, token XRP and USDT. Network is Binance Smart Chain. Protocol, you'll do this on its Pancake Swap. There is a full-on video that teaches you how to do that as well. This will be good for the next half to 3 months or as long as it's economically beneficial. Suggested size, minimum $1,000 for any marginal impact. However, for learning purposes, like if you want to test it out, like I did $500, maybe you want to do $20, whatever the case may be, Get in there and learn DeFi yield farming, huge, powerful resource for you in the future. Heading over to XRP in the charts, our long-term momentum wave is starting to get close to the zero line. Remember, we warned about this several days ago when we did finally break through. It was very exciting to finally get a little bit of bullish momentum and action to the upside. We went from that 208 up to that 235 range. Hey, bull runners, are you feeling FOMO about this bull run without the right financial support? We're here to change that. We're not just about funding, we're about growing your business together. Whether you're investing in crypto, kicking off a new startup, managing your existing business, or looking to expand, we have personalized funding that meets your exact needs. Imagine starting your business or getting capital to invest $100,000 to $250,000 at 0% interest. That's not a dream, it's what we do. We've helped countless entrepreneurs like you with 0% interest funding without needing personal funds, income verification, or collateral. With just a 680 credit score, you qualify. We understand that your business can't wait, so take advantage of our quick funding approach. We look beyond the credit score with inclusive approval process that sees the big picture of your business or investment potential. Our flexible repayments are tailored to match your business cycles, ensuring you can manage repayments without strain. With access to our extensive lending network of over 5,000 options, we're committed to finding the perfect match for your business or investing needs. Plus, you'll have our dedicated team by your side, guiding you through every step of the funding journey. Whether it's buying crypto, hiring new employees, or launching a new product, we're committed to your success. Click the link to connect with our expert advisors and secure your business's future now. And our shaft short-term trend cycle was riding really strong to the green, the upside, and then we started having our pullback here and a hidden bearish divergence. Now, when we took a look historically on this indicator, there was a hidden bearish divergence right here. Let me zoom in a little more for you. Hidden bearish divergence right here on March 25th. And as you can see, after March 25th, it had a significant drop. Going back in history a little further, right here, there was a hidden bearish divergence, which you can see the indicator right here on February 20th. And sure enough, it had a drop there. Now, we just recently had a hidden bearish divergence happen again, but we were riding bullish. So as we've been discussing, that when we're at least bullish long term, we don't have as much price action effect to the downside. We're more price action affected to the upside. So right now, we could still have the turnaround, right? So there's a potential that we turn around. This is what we called out several days ago, this support level here at 204 to 209. There's a very healthy support here where price could definitely bounce and make its way up. If not, there is potential that we come back to our other spider line here. This is our spider line from January 15th, 2018. And that's going to be our support level here. That's our $1.90 support. And historically, it's been a support, a really strong one for us. And if we lose that, there is potential of coming back down to this trend line that has been going on for us for quite some time now. It has tapped it right here on February 7th, right here on February 27th, right here on March 11th, and right here on April 7th. And if we have another turn down, there is potential coming back to this level, which is the $1.50 level, which is also this order block right here on the rise to the upside. We will be getting confirmation of this right here, the break to the downside in the next 24 to 48 hours, or more positively, there is a potential that we just bounce off the zero line and start our second leg to the upside. As we take a look at Bitcoin, same scenario, price did break above the zero line right here on April 20th, and it had a nice shoot to the upside. It has run into some extreme resistance here from this level, which is a really solid order block from February 21st. It's up in that range. It's still trying to poke through there. However, if we do lose this yellow box here, which is another level of support, which is between 95 and 92,000, there is a likelihood that we could come back first to the 30 exponential moving average, which is 90K, which would be great. If it breaks that, then we're going to 89. And if it breaks that, there is a potential we come all the way back into the $85,000 range. Couple of reasons why. One, there is a great area of support right here. You can see all this orders that were happening in this area. But the other thing that's really a problem is they left big, giant fair value gaps here. You know, we talk about that a lot on my segment on this channel. You can see there's a huge fair value gap here, and there's a huge fair value gap here. Now, interestingly enough, there is a little fair value gaps to the upside, which would be great because if we start to build that momentum into these gaps, then we could run all the way up to the fair value gap in this range here, 102,000. And now we're starting to look like we got some new market structure. Now, will we be returning to these levels down here, fair value gaps? There is definitely a possibility. In fact, if we look at historically how this happened, when this run happened, when we were going up from 42, the run up to 73, and this was chopping around, you can see it came and got this fair value gap, came and got this one, and then came and got this one. Now, when we jump back to XRP and we take a look at fair value gaps here as well, and we're on the weekly chart now, there is a massive fair value gap to the downside. Very scary one indeed. Gets us all the way back to $1, and in fact, 62 cents, even 55 cents. And just recently, if you remember, when we were on this drop here in that candle from the week of April 7th, had that very scary drop to the downside, the $1.60 level that it cleared out. There was still a remaining fair value gap right here. It had been tagged once before, but it finally got fully cleared on this candle from April 7th. So what's going to happen with XRP in the short term? Well, let's take a look. First and foremost, we do have a nice support here between $2.09 and $2.05. So if it comes down to here, hangs around, bounces around, and then finally makes its way up, we have reset on our short-term shaft trend cycle, which is very positive. We are still technically green above the zero line on our long-term momentum wave, so we could have a nice turn to the upside here. So let's talk about bullish. What could happen? Well, we could come down and make the turn and start heading back up. We can make the turn, start heading back up. That's our bullish scenario. There is a likelihood that that plays out. In order for that to play out, we're looking for us to break back above the 10 exponential moving average, which is this $2.18. After we do that, we need to get up here to the 225, then make our way up to the 250 level. However, if this breaks down below and we go back into the red and we start to make this drop here, fulfilling this hidden bearish divergence, then we will see this ride to the bottom for quite some time, like it's doing over on its weekly chart, and then price will do like we've been talking about now for a couple of weeks. Price very likely could continue this price action that it's been on, where it made a new lower high, came down, made a lower low, then it made a lower high, and now we could be coming down to make a lower low. This week will be the strong indicator of what happens. Why? What happens this week, guys? Let me know down in the comments if you remember. The federal funds rate will be announced, so we will know if the interest rates are going to be lowered. My personal opinion, if he does cut rates, we are going to finally see a pump to the upside of everything, cryptos, stocks, everything in the market. If Jerome Powell continues his war with Trump and decides to not lower interest rates, we will see short-term pain to the downside. So we'll keep a very close eye on that. That's my personal opinion. That's not financial advice. Do not buy or sell anything because we talk about it on this channel.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers,